Sammy? Sammy, wake up. Sammy, it's me, Lucy. Do you remember my voice? Welcome back, Sammy. You've been asleep for a very long time. Please don't panic. Everything is okay now. Just listen to my voice. The reason you can hear and not see me is due to this being a pre-recorded message. But if you're listening to this, it means it worked, Sammy. You were right. And hopefully a cure was found with enough time for us to be together again. Let me explain. In March 1986, you lost your battle against cancer, and you were taken away from me. However, before you left, you made arrangements to become a member of the Cryonic Reanimation Foundation, an organisation that believes in freezing the deceased, in the hope that medical technology will advance enough to one day bring you back to me. Even though I was sceptical, you always had huge faith in science. But if this tape is being played, I guess you proved me wrong, and only you can understand the happiness that this brings me. Even though you're listening to a message recorded in 1986, the Foundation have asked me to guide you through using the artefacts laid out in front of you. These have been developed by the Foundation and are designed to explain what I cannot, speaking from the past. This includes details on the year that you have woken in, the appearance of our wonderful family, and the significant events that have occurred whilst you were sleeping. I have been told by your cryonic minders that hearing a familiar voice upon reanimation may help you understand these instructions that have been written by the Foundation, even though I know you're not one to listen to direct instructions. Needless to say, pay heed to my words, as this will hopefully ease the beginning of your new life, a life in the future. Right, let's begin. In front of you should be your cryonic passport. This document will have been with you since day one of your suspension. If you turn to the first page, this should give you the details of your name, which hopefully you'll remember, the date you passed away, and most importantly, the date you have woken up in. Deep breath, Sammy. I can understand if this comes as a shock to you. But this is what you wanted, remember? And besides, I'm sure the year you've woken up in will be great. I mean, they've managed to bring the dead back to life. How bad can it be? I just hope for the sake of both our kids and myself that this date isn't too far away. The Foundation have told me that they predict that reanimation will become possible around the 2030 mark. Were they right? If you turn to the next page, you should find some more in-depth details about yourself, such as your birthday, height, and distinguishing marks, as well as a rather dashing photo. I was reluctant to give that to the Foundation. It's one of the few nice ones I have of you, but you always did prefer being behind the camera rather than in front of it. On the next page, you should be able to see the names and ages of the family we made together, both before and after your suspension. I hope that the difference in age isn't too substantial. I would hate for you to have missed the children's entire childhood, but I fear that they will be grown up and I will become an elderly lady, or worse, dead. But the next artefact in front of you will help clear that up. Put down the passport for now, we'll come back to it later. See that wooden box? Open it and place one slide from the left and one from the right into the slide viewer, making sure the logo is facing towards you. Before you look into it, take a deep breath. Depending on how long you were asleep, these images may come as a bit of a shock. When you're ready, Sammy, raise the viewer to your eyes. Can you see it, Sammy? Do you remember? I've been told by the Foundation that you should be looking at a direct comparison between what our family looked like in 1986 and what we look like post-reanimation. Can you see the boys? I hope they have grown up into handsome, well-respected men. I will always remember the day you took the photograph of them down by the river. That was such a good holiday. You always treated us so well. Take your time and look through some of the other slides. I know there are a few golden snaps in there. I love the one of the boys and myself sitting on our favourite tree stump. Look at Leo's knees. Are they still as knobbly? I hope I'm still as beautiful as I was the day you left me, but I'm afraid that I will look more like your mother than the youthful girl you once knew back in '86. Once you're done looking at the slides, pick up your cryonic passport again and turn to the second half of it. Can you see a collection of stamps? According to what the Cryonic Foundation tells me, each one will represent a different historical event that has occurred during your suspension. I'm sorry that I can't explain what any of them represent. But as you can imagine, at the time of this recording, none of them have actually happened yet. However, if you look next to the tape player, there should be another cassette labelled Historic Events. This will explain in greater detail what each one means. As well as this, there should be another tape that will hopefully hold on it a number of messages left by the kids and myself for you to listen to at a later date. Or if you prefer, they have been typed up for you to read in your own privacy. I'm afraid to say that this is the point where you have to take off the headphones. I say goodbye and you make your voyage into a new life in the future. If the children and myself are still alive, then hopefully we are in a room not too far away where we can be reunited as a whole, as a family. Until then, my dearest, I bid you farewell. I will love you always. Yours eternally, Lucy.